what we've done here is we've used our pavers for our depth. We've dug out our space here. Again, this was virgin ground, so it was pretty much compacted. It was hard as a rock, actually. And then what we're going to do here is we've leveled our sand, and now we're just going to put down this foam piece of paver base. And we've laid our pavers here right on top of this, and these just click together. So you want to click one together and show them how it clicks together here? Just bring it right underneath here like that, and it just clicks together. It's a little wavy there, so we'll kind of it'll push itself down with the paver. So if it's got a little bit of play to it, that's fine. That's what the sand is for. Okay? So now what we're going to do here is we've had to cut off a corner here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to try to level these pavers with the concrete here. Okay, so now we're ready to lay our paving brick. And what I'm doing here is just making sure that my paving bricks are level with my concrete. We don't want any tripping hazards. Okay, so right here I'm just going to do a soldier's row, which is just straight brick. Okay, and then I'm flowing into what we call a basket weave pattern, and that's just 2 by 2 turns. Okay, so this is basically what you're doing. There's a right side to this brick, and there's a wrong side to this brick. Let me give you a better example here. There's a right side to the brick, and there's a wrong side to the brick. Make sure you have the right side up. Okay, and you just want to start your pattern, and see how this is a little low right here? What we're going to do is we're just going to take a little bit of sand here, and we're going to fill in, and we're going to kind of lift that up a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to complete our pattern here. Okay, like that right there. Now, we've got this space here that's open, and what I'm going to do here is I've got my brick saw, and we'll cut it in here, and we'll mark this, and we'll cut this brick, and we'll lay it in here, and then we'll do another one right like this right here and lay it in right here. But I'm going to come back and fill these in later. Mallet, you really need a mallet for this, just to kind of hit them around a little bit and kind of move them, but they do slide around really easily on this polymer sand-based foam board here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and start laying our foam-based board and just keep the pattern going. Okay? Pretty basic. If you want, you can run a string line, and you can, if you got a big area, run your string lines and make sure you got your pattern going straight. But I'm just going off my landscape here because, you know, I'm just basically eyeing it straight down. And these boards are straight, so I mean you can eye it off the edge of this board as well. Okay, so let's go get some more bricks. Okay, now we're going to start our second row. So I've got the first row of basket weaves laid. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start the second row. So we'll lay this one first, then this one, and then we'll cut out the end of this. Now this is level, but you can see our landscape stones are not level. So we can come back and we can level those after we finish the sidewalk. So now what he's doing here is we have one paver base, another paver base locked in, and now we're going to set the next paver base. No, the other end, John.
Oh, no?
No, it's not. It's the other end, see?
Okay.
I know it's got sand on it. It's hard to see. It should go on like that right there.
Okay. That looks good?
Yep, that's just how it goes. Okay. And now what he's going to do is he's just going to take a knife or a saw.
It's got a little saw on it.
Yeah. Cut away from it a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine if it doesn't go right up to the concrete. Ooh, I hate that sound.
If you have to cut these, a little saw will do, or a knife, but you'll have to be able to see it. If you just get a bright highlighter and you mark it, you'll be able to see the line where you're going to cut it.
Okay.
This was real helpful.
This is my husband, John, by the way. He's my cut man. He's my hod carrier and cut man on the projects. Well, I do some of my own hod carrying, don't I?
Yeah, you carry. And
I don't do any cutting, though. I'll have to post a picture of you yesterday with with you being brick red.
Yeah, makes you red. Gotta wear a mask.
Yeah, we're. And we're just going to cut the radius out of it. Okay, we've just cut this piece down to fit. Make sure your seams line up. And let's get ready for the next row. Okay, I've got the second row done. And now we're going to do the same thing for the third row, and we're just going to keep going. Okay, we've got the finished border edges put on. And we've just rearranged the bricks here along the edge. You can see we got the basket weave pattern, and then we did one brick, and then two and one. And we did that so that we could go ahead and finish. Okay, so it's day 2, and you can see my husband out here cutting brick. And what I've done here is around this radius we've marked these. You just set these up right like this. I straight down on them. And we've taken a permanent marker and we've marked them. Now, he's taking them over to the saw. He's cutting them. And we're making our radius. And I came back through here this morning. I didn't like the soldier bricks. So I came through here and I redid that. And this is our result today. Okay, so we're finished with our detailed work. We got a couple of small pieces here to fit in. But you can see we've got a nice curve here going. You know, sometimes you got to fill in the blanks with some cut pieces, but looks good. So now we're just going to come back here and fix our edging and get that nice and level so our patio doesn't look like it's bowing down. And we got a couple more pieces to lay across the back. And we'll be complete. We'll be ready to fill this in with the polymeric fill. Okay, so now it's time to fill this in. We've got our pavers all set. We've got the pavers all cut the way we want them. And what we have here is we have this polymeric sand. And it's paver set. And basically it's like a concrete mix, or like a mortar mix like you would use in brick, like on your brick house, a mortar mix, mixed in with sand, with builder sand. So what you want to do is you need a nice handy brush, something soft so you don't move your stones around because you got them set, okay? And what you want to do here is you want to be sure and wear a face mask, and you want to be sure and wear gloves. You don't want to get this in your eyes, and you don't want to get this on your skin. It can burn you. If you do, wash your hands and face for 15 minutes. Okay? So what we're going to do, and you're just going to gently brush it in like this. And you want to leave about an 1/8 of an inch. No more, no less than 1/8 of an inch in the gaps here. And you just want to work your way from one corner, and you want to work your way out this direction and then out that way. Okay? And you want to make sure that you leave no sand or polymeric sand on top. So if you have like a leaf blower, then I suggest you use your leaf blower. And we'll be back in a minute where I'll show you what we'll do next. So I filled this all up with polymeric sand, and we've brushed the joints lightly. You don't want to go any deeper than 1/8 of an inch, but you also don't want to go over the top of the stone either. So I've got about 1/8 of an inch in here from the top of the brick. And got all the excess brushed off. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and we're going to lightly mist this in 10-minute intervals with water. So we're going to give it a light mist, just dampen it, come back 10 minutes later, do it again, and we're going to do this about 8 to 10 times. This will help let it absorb slowly, and this will also let me fill in any low spots that might come up. But we're almost done. Now you're going to want this, after you've misted this, you're going to want this to sit for about 72 hours before you walk on it. There we go. We're doing it on flat setting. Okay, and we're just going to do this in 10-minute intervals. And we're going to do this 10 times, 8 to 10 times. That'd be plenty. This is builder Janie Pendleton, and I wanted to show you our finished project. Remember, the first project we did was this beautiful curved wall. We did the stone fireplace, which turned out beautifully. We did our landscaping, brought our landscaping around, and my mother gave me this free wrought iron table, and I painted it white, made a perfect vignette, and my husband and I made these doors and Van Dyke's. I got the wrought iron works from Van Dyke's, and the handles on the gate are from Egypt, just to kind of give you an idea. But this is how we finished it up, was with this beautiful basket weave paving brick patio. Now I'll probably do some sort of a water fountain here, maybe some wrought iron archways or something, maybe get some ivy or some wisteria to grow up and over this. But we don't want to block the view of this beautiful archway from the road, so we're going to try to just stick with things here on the side. And then of course we're going to finish off with our sidewalk on around back to the front of the house. These are my handles, by the way, from Egypt. I've just painted them black. And then my wrought ironworks came from Van Dyke's. And when you open this up, now my husband just took the cushions off of this. Normally it has red cushions on the sofa, but he just removed them. And then this is what it leads to. My beautiful stone fireplace with my new infrared grill that also bakes pizzas. One of ours down in Indianapolis made us the concrete countertop pieces. And another friend of ours did the stonework. And then I did the stonework to match it around our deck. I wanted to show you the inside of my fireplace. I got the grill here. It was going to cost me $2,300 for a fireplace custom-made insert piece here that was stainless steel. And I got this heavy wrought iron piece for about $200 from JCPenney's. And it just happened to fit the archway almost perfectly. And this keeps the sparks from coming out and burning my cushion. Inside of here, I did a beautiful, well, I had the bricklayer do a beautiful herringbone back in here. And this peach collar gives it a beautiful glow. So get this peach collar fire brick. If you're in question, do not worry about it. This gives the fire a beautiful orange peachy glow, and it just really just bounces the light back into your seating area. Okay, and you can see we had a fire in here last night. Now, when you build an outdoor fireplace, because the flue is just to keep cold air from coming in, hot air from coming in on your air conditioning and your heater, you're outdoors. You don't need it. So save yourself a couple $100. Forgo the vent, the flue vent. Okay. And again, we have some more of these beautiful concrete tops that the friend made, and he made the fireplace. Bricklayers that did my wall and my stone fireplace, they did the stone column here, or excuse me, the brick column, and they laid the brick here for me on my steps. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to come back through here at the remainder of my stone I have left over from my fireplace, and we're going to go up the post here, and we're going to give this a nice tapered look and give it a nice arts and crafts style look. So that will be one of our next projects. Okay, and like I was saying earlier, since you're going to have to be more aggressive on this when you wash it off to get the effervescence and the lime out of it, you'll notice that some of the joints here right along the edge, especially where they're on an angle, you know, where they've been opened up on the curve, they're going to get washed out because we were more aggressive with the hose, you know, to get that off. So what we're going to do here now is when this dries, we're going to go back, or we can do it now, but we'll go back through and fill this in, pack the dirt back up here gently, and then we'll just be real gently filling this, and then we'll give this a little bit of water, sprinkle it a little bit with the sprinkling can, and then that will set in those joints. Okay? And again, here's another joint that will have to be done. Here's one that I just did to give you an example. So you just kind of have to refill them back up again. Came along here and put in with the extra stones we have left over from the fireplace, and I made columns here. I made columns here for the deck. Okay, so we have some leftover sand, some leftover brick, and some leftover paver base material, these foam boards. So we've decided to go ahead, remove the trash cans, dig the grass out, and we're going to make a nice little patio area here for the trash can fence area. And we get a lot of winds out here, and last year we put up this great trash fence. It was expensive. I'd say it was, what, between $600 and $800? Yeah, $600? Yeah, so about $600 for this. And that's putting it in ourselves. It was expensive by the time you buy the aluminum post and all the parts. But when you live out where we do, it's worth its weight in gold, because I have not chased a trash can this year. It's been great. So, John, why don't you tell us what we're going to do next here?
Lay them down, level them up, and set the brick.
Okay. Well, I'm going to let you do this one by yourself.
Okay.
This builder's going to go take a nap.
Enjoy.
You want to be sure and put a slight slope on that of at least a ½ inch to an inch, just to keep the water out in the way. And you want to make sure that the top of your brick line does not fall across this plastic board right here, or the water won't be able to drain out. Look at that. That fits in there perfectly. That'll put the brick underneath there perfect.
You just got to cut it out a bit.
Yeah. Did really good. Do you want to take and, if you want to, notch this out a little bit in the corners, push them up underneath there, and we can put brick up underneath this board here, and then when I hit that with the weed trimmer or the mower, it'll mow right up to the brick that way, instead of letting the grass, you know, because this is why we're doing this, so the grass doesn't grow up underneath here too. So do you agree with that?
I will do that.
Okay. Looks good. Yeah, just like maybe like a 2-inch notch. We'll push that right up underneath there. That'll work. And then here we have laid, with our leftover pavers, we laid the brick pad in here.